So, good morning, students. I hope you are doing well. And today we focus on part 3 video of why do we fall ill. So, today our topic is infectious agents. So, there are different types of living organisms which cause disease or spread the disease. So, first we having a virus. Here you can see the picture of virus. Okay. So, first one is infectious agent is virus. Normally they are remain inactive or non-living when they are outside the living cell. But once they get attached or inside the living organism, living body, they immediately use the DNA of cell and cause the infection and prepare toxic proteins which are harmful for the body. Next, okay, next is ringworm. These are micros, very small, 20 micrometer size worms are there, and they cause lesions or injuries in the skin, holes in the skin, and cause damage to the skin, and also they stay in our body and for long time. Even in eyes also they cause infection. Okay, so these are also called damage to our body. Next is bacteria. Here there are different kinds of bacteria are there. Okay, this is a cylinder bacillococcus rod shaped like bacteria. They also cause disease or sometimes they spread the disease. Okay. Next we have staphylococcus. Coccus means circular. They are circular in shape, and these bacteria cause acne, funsi or pimples in our face or body. So staphylococcus, these are the bacteria cause acne. Mhm. These are protozoans which cause malaria, especially the popular one is Plasmodium. Okay, Plasmodium is the protozoan which cause malaria in human body. So these that is a different category of protozoans which cause infections. Then they have Kala Azar, that is the name of disease, black fever or Kala Azar. This is a kind of disease caused by bacteria, sorry, protozoan. Then there is Ascaris. These are worms which cause infection in body. Okay, so they are white in color and transparent, so it's very difficult to identify them. They present in human body or pig or maybe transferred from different living organisms. Next, our topic is means of spread of disease. What are the different things or ways disease can spread? So we are discussing these things in detail. First one is through air. Okay, like a common cold, tuberculosis, pneumonia. P is silent, so you can just pronounce pneumonia. So these three diseases transfer through air. Okay, whenever you are do coughing, some droplets transfer to through the air, transfer to next person. So through the air, diseases can spread. Next is cholera. Cholera, amoebic dysentery. Okay, these diseases spread through water, and especially the dirty water if you eat, drink. Okay, Clostridium tetani, that is the also cause cholera. Okay, bacteria. So by water, not unhygienic water, if you drink, the diseases are spread through unhygienic water. Okay, drink here in diagram you can see he is drinking unhygienic water. Next, through vectors, there are certain organisms which can transfer disease from one person to another, like mosquitoes. Mosquito transfer protozoans, okay, from one organism to another organism, and that disease is caused malaria, dengue, yellow fever. All these three diseases are transferred through mosquitoes. So that's why mosquitoes are called vectors. Okay, and there are certain flies also which can transfer disease like typhoid, tuberculosis, diarrhea, dysentery. Okay, house fly. We're talking about the house fly, which can they eat they stick to food or some sticky material and they transfer from one organism to another. Next is through sexual contact. There are certain diseases which transfer from one person to another during sexual contact, like syphilis, AIDS. So AIDS is a viral disease spread through blood transfusion. They also transfer through blood transfusion. Sorry. Blood transfusion means transferring blood from one person to another. Okay. If you infected blood, even the mother during the pregnancy through breastfeeding. If a mother having a AIDS and she is doing a breastfeeding or giving milk to their child, then the chances of disease spreading is there. AIDS can be transferred from mother to son or daughter. Okay, so these are the uh, characters. Okay, different types of contact through which AIDS is not spreading. Okay, AIDS is not a contagious disease. It does not spread by casual contact such as shaking hand, coughing, sneezing, kissing, embracing, sharing utensils and telephone, swimming pools and toilet, sharing towels, blood-sucking insects, crowded transport. Because there is so much myth is there in the society that these are the by coughing, sneezing, kissing, embarrassing, disease AIDS can be spread. That's why we mentioning here specifically these are the contexts which cannot spread AIDS. Next, animals also can spread the disease like wash your hands after petting animal or touching any surface they come in contact with you because animal may have infections which can transfer to your body. Next is organ specific and tissue specific manifestation. Once the microbe enters in your body, what are the different means where they go, different organs and disease? Let's take example of microbes which enter through the nose. Any microbe which enter through nose are likely to go to the lungs. Okay, because air goes to lungs. Bacteria which cause tuberculosis of lungs. Another example, microbes which enter through mouth are likely to stay in the gut. Gut means stomach. Okay, so bacteria cause typhoid or liver bacteria which cause jaundice, they can go through mouth, these bacteria. Next is virus which cause AIDS enter the body through sexual organ during sexual contact, spread through the lymph to all parts of the body and damage the immune system. So during the sexual contact, the disease viral can spread through lymphatic system and it damage the immune system. One more virus is that cause Japanese encephalitis or brain fever, enters the body through mosquito bite and goes and infect the brain. So different organisms have different manifestations. Okay, how they end we can't say. Next is principle of treatment. That is our almost last topic. The treatment of infectious disease consists of two steps. First, either we can reduce the effect of the disease and or to kill the microbes cause the disease. So these two things we will discuss in detail. Okay. So by taking medicine to bring down the effect of disease like fever, pain, loose motion, these things can be stopped by taking medicine, but cannot be disease cured. It is just reducing the symptoms. The second step, okay, in this step we can kill the microbes by taking suitable antibiotics and drugs, which kills the microbe and disease is cured. So now what are the principles this curing happens? The principles of prevention are there are two ways. One is general way and the one is specific way. Okay, let's discuss this one. In general way, what happened? Public hygiene is most important for prevention of infectious disease. proper sufficient food for everyone, we will make people healthy and resist. These are the outer outline by which we can reduce the infection of disease. Airborne disease can be prevented by living in conditions that are not crowded. If you are not living in crowded place, then their chances of airborne disease is very low. Waterborne disease can be prevented by providing safe drinking water. Yeah, that is a normal one. Vector-borne disease can be prevented by providing clean environment. So these are the general way of preventing diseases. Next, this is the last one. Okay. So the specific way to prevent infectious disease is immunization by taking injections or vaccination. Immunization is also called vaccination. Okay, vaccine provide immunity from infectious disease like tetanus, diphtheria, whooping cough, measles, polio. What actually happen when we inject, when we do vaccination? Actually, what happen? Our body has an immune system which fight microbial infection. When this system first sees an infections microbe, it kills the microbe and try to remember. So if the microbe enter the body next time again, it respond more vigorously. Vaccine mimics the infection microbes and strengthen our immune system, protect the body from infectious disease. It's like a, before playing the final match, we do test match. Practice match. The same way in our body also, when we release the weak germs in your body, your immune system play with them and do the practice. So when the actual infection happen with the strong worms or viruses, the body can vigorously react and they kill the viruses. So this is the last slide. Thank you for listening. Okay, this is the third slide, sorry, third part of the video. Now here I would like to finish my class and see you and have a nice day.